I just don't get it, guys. I just don't get it. A lot of things on this show just didn't make sense. So let's just get straight into it real quick. We had Baron Corbin, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn front Seth Rollins. You know, now they've got Kevin Owens as a wild card. That's not going to change anything. The wild card still sucks. WWE. So then we had Lars Sullivan take on the Lucha House Party. Oh yeah, before I get to that, Sami Zayn was... Apparently Baron Corbin enlisted Sami Zayn to be an outside referee for Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins later on. So then we had Lars Sullivan take on the Lucha House Party. Didn't care about this match at all. Didn't care about this. And why should I care about something? Because this really didn't make any difference to me. This was just unnecessary. There was no reason for this. So Lars Sullivan obviously defeats the Lucha House Party, but like I said, I just don't care. So we have a Miz TV segment where the Miz had Samoa Joe as his guest, and then all of a sudden, Cesaro, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, and Ricochet all come out claiming they're all deserving of a United States title match, including the Miz. Now, the only person out of all of those 5 guys that truly deserves a United States title match is Ricochet. It's Ricochet, because he beat Cesaro in a best of 3. Cesaro beat him the first time, and Ricochet won the other 2 times. So Ricochet should be clearly be the contender for the United States Championship. I don't get why all these wrestlers need to say that they should be deserving of a championship opportunity. Braun Strowman, I was okay with Braun versus Joe the first time, but now that you're doing this now, too late. Too late now for Braun and Joe. Bobby Lashley, he doesn't deserve it because he lost at the Super Show, and Cesaro, he lost to Ricochet twice. Sure. Some people may say, oh, but this is good. Then we finally get Cesaro get pushed. But again, wins and losses matter. The person that has the most momentum is Ricochet. Miz has been too busy losing to Shane McMahon. That's what I'm saying, guys. It makes no sense. That's what I'm trying to say. So the babyface team obviously wins here. The Miz, Braun, and Ricochet, they defeat the heels in a impromptu 6-man tag. Yay! Like that's really going to be exciting. Then we get Lacey Evans and Alexa Bliss. You know, I really love the pairing of Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. But guys, you guys know that the women's division is my favorite part of WWE. So I've got to complain about something. And the fact that what happened on Raw today clearly made no sense for the women. It clearly made no sense. So, like I said, Lacey Evans and Alexa Bliss teamed up against Becky Lynch and Bayley. Bayley, who is the SmackDown Women's Champion. She shouldn't be appearing on Raw. She shouldn't be a wild card. She shouldn't even be a wild card. The only people that should be showing up on both brands is R-Truth, the 24/7 champion, and the Iconics. They're the only 2 people. They're the only 2 people. Well, I guess I could say 3, because Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are 2 people, R-Truth is 1. But you get my point. Both of those titles should be appearing on both brands. Bayley is a SmackDown champion. It looks awkward to see a SmackDown champion show up on a Raw show. I said this about Charlotte when she was the champion appearing on Raw. Now I'm going to say it about Bayley. So Alexa Bliss and Lacey Evans win. Alexa Bliss pins Bayley with a Twisted Bliss off the top rope. Good to see she still uses the Twisted Bliss. I love that move. Great she still uses it. And this is why I'm going to say this makes no sense. We go from this tag team match to another tag team match with the women. We get the Iconics taking on two jobbers by the name of Lisa Lace and Aaliyah Mai. What in the ever-living hell is this? You mean to tell me you had the Iconics feuding with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross last week? Nikki Cross pinned Peyton Royce last week, correct? Because my eyes weren't deceiving me. I saw Nikki Cross versus Peyton Royce last week. And also, what did I see last week? I saw Billie Kay push Alexa Bliss into coffee. So why are the Iconics versus jobbers? This is why I'm saying Alexa Bliss, she shouldn't even be competing for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I would have been perfectly fine with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Iconics feud. This was the perfect feud. This was the perfect feud for the Iconics. But you skip out on it, as usual. You skip out on it as usual. You don't take the opportunity. Wasn't Kairi Sane and Asuka another one of their... Didn't Kairi Sane and Asuka feud with them for a while as well? What happened to them? What happened to them, man? Jesus Christ, man. This company just hurts my brain, I swear. This company hurts my brain when it comes to the women's division. They are making no sense. What should have happened is a follow-on from what happened last week with the Iconics and Bliss and Cross. Bliss shouldn't even be at Stomping Ground versus Bayley. You could have just had Carmella. Could have just had Carmella versus Bayley for all I care, or just done Charlotte. Either way, people still would have complained. But listen, Alexa Bliss should be feuding with the Iconics. She should be teaming with Nikki Cross, doing nothing but team with Nikki Cross. That's all she should be doing. We should have had a follow-on from last week. What happened on Raw last week with Billie Kay and the coffee, what we should have gotten this week, we should have gotten Billie Kay versus Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss out for revenge for what Billie Kay did with the coffee. Pushing her over on the coffee. We should have had those two competing tonight, and Billie Kay getting the pinfall victory on Alexa Bliss because Nikki Cross got the victory on Peyton last week. That's what we should have got. But no, we get Alexa Bliss feuding with the SmackDown Women's Champion, and we get the Iconics versus jobbers for no random reason. But Patrick, you said you wanted the Iconics to be built up. Yeah, but against jobbers? What the hell is this even going to do for them? They're going to go right back to losing. Guaranteed it. This one win was probably just... You know, did you guys notice that it was Billie Kay that got the pin and not Peyton Royce? Listen, all I'm saying is that this makes no sense. This makes no sense. How can you go from spilling your coffee to all of a sudden... How could you go from the Iconics bullying Alexa Bliss, spilling her coffee, to all of a sudden Alexa Bliss is feuding with Bayley, and now the Iconics are versing jobbers? How can you go from that? I'm telling you, it makes no sense. So the Iconics beat these jobbers. Ooh. Yeah, like that's really going to make people think they are dominating champions. And I find it hilarious that the Iconics were saying, is anybody brave enough to take them on for the titles? When clearly, like I just mentioned, Asuka and Kairi Sane have pinned them. Like, how many times did Asuka and Kairi Sane pin them on SmackDown Live? And then we had Nikki Cross literally last week pin Peyton Royce. See? See what I mean? WWE's all over the place. They don't know what they want to do with the Iconics. They had their shot right there with Bliss and Cross, but they didn't want to take it. Of course. Typical WWE. Like I said, I would have perfectly been fine with Bliss and Cross versus the Iconics at Stomping Ground. But no, we got to get this garbage instead. Ugh. This really makes my brain hurt. I love my women's division, but Jesus Christ, they really need to fix up the issues that they have. Stick with what you're doing. Don't change things for the sake of changing it. Like I said, you can't go from the Iconics bullying Alexa Bliss over coffee to Alexa Bliss versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. You can't. Anyway, moving on. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins defend the Raw Tag Team titles against the Revival and the Usos in a triple threat. This was originally just Hawkins and Ryder versus the Revival, but this got changed to a triple threat. Don't know why. It didn't need to. It didn't need to. You didn't need to add the Usos. So the Revival win. They become two-time Raw Tag Team champions. More importantly, I know people love the Revival, but I'm gonna straight up say this. The Revival didn't do shit to earn this. They lost to the Usos at the Super Showdown. But all of a sudden, they're worthy of a title shot? In reality, the Revival shouldn't even been in this match. It should have just been Hawkins and Ryder versus the Usos. Because the Usos actually won. So I don't get why the Revival, all of a sudden, yeah, you're losers, but you're going to hold the Raw Tag Team titles. Look, I'm hoping this is the time they rebuild the Revival. I'm hoping this is the point they rebuild the Revival and make them the Revival that I actually care about. Please, I want them to revitalize the tag team division. And the Revival is the perfect team to do that. The Revival's the perfect team to do that. But will WWE revitalize the tag team division? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So after that we go to the 24/7 R-Truth, where he is trapped in an elevator with a bunch of opponents. Now, I want to mention something real quickly here. I saw this tweet earlier today, and it was a comparison to what EC3 is. And all I gotta say is poor EC3, man. Poor EC3. Like, he had like two split screens, right? It's like you have two split screens. It's like a comparison. Like, you look at the two side by side. And he had one comparison of where EC3 is happy. He's enjoying himself when he's doing his little entrance, when he does the hand gestures, when he goes for the E, and then the C, and then the 3. That thing in his entrance. When he points at the Titantron for E, and then C, and then 3. You see one comparison of him in NXT, full of energy, doing the E, C, 3, and then you see this comparison of him on the main roster. He's like this. Poor EC3, man. The passion that this guy has for wrestling, and Vince McMahon's destroying it. Honestly, Vince McMahon has destroyed this guy's passion. And it makes me sad, because EC3 had so much potential. I wish Vince McMahon would utilize EC3. Same thing with people like Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander. You can't just let talent like this... flood. When you got talent like this, you should be taking advantage of it. Unbelievable, man. But yeah, R-Truth managed to escape the elevator situation and managed to escape with the 24/7 championship. Now look, the 24/7 championship's entertaining. It's probably one of my favorite titles. It's one of my favorite things about Monday Night Raw. But clearly this whole thing it was fine. But I'm just saying, poor EC3, because he's been a part of all these little skits for the 24/7 championship. I wish Vince McMahon would give the guy a chance. Have him win the 24/7 championship and have him run with it. But then we go from that to the Firefly Funhouse. Bray Wyatt crushes Rubbin' Rabbit with a mallet. Okay, well, that doesn't sound like the happy, cheery Blue's Clues version of Bray Wyatt. That makes me think that's the evil Bray Wyatt. The one with the mask. You know, I want to straight up say this. I've been enjoying these segments, but I'm starting to think that we really need to start getting to the point where we want to see Bray Wyatt compete. I'm starting to get to the point where I feel like it is time for us to see Bray Wyatt on Monday Night Raw competing. It's just a thought, man, because I think, you know, a lot of us are enjoying these segments, but don't you want to see Bray Wyatt compete? So I feel like we need to get ready to the point where we can see Bray Wyatt compete. So maybe do another episode or two. Maybe you could have an episode where Bray Wyatt kills all of his friends, and then he's finally free of the Firefly Funhouse, and then he comes over to Monday Night Raw, and he's invading Raw, and he's scaring the hell out of people. You know, you could do something like that. I don't know, but by the sounds of Bray Wyatt crushing Rubbin' Rabbit with a mallet, that doesn't sound like the happy Bray Wyatt. That sounds like the evil Bray Wyatt. But all I'm saying is, we really need to get to the point where we see Bray Wyatt competing. So next, and then finally we have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. This match ends in a disqualification. In my opinion, this was a very predictable main event. I kind of saw this coming a mile away because Sami Zayn, you know, is the outside referee. So I saw this coming a mile away. And they seem to be building towards Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin again, man. And I don't know why. Baron Corbin doesn't even deserve an opportunity. And here he is, getting another opportunity at the Universal Championship, where this guy freaking lost clean at the Super Showdown. So anyway, guys, that's your Monday Night Raw review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up. Comment your thoughts down below on Monday Night Raw. Be sure to subscribe as well. And also be sure to check out my Universe Mode. The first 2 episodes, I've given you guys a new leash on life with my channel. I want you guys to check out those videos and all the crazy action that happens there. So be sure to check those out, and you'll be seeing more this week coming as well. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you all in the next video where we talk about SmackDown Live. See you then, guys.